we get down to business, I gotta say, hell of a job on that last run. That's enough about that. Let's talk shop. Another job's popped up. Thought you'd be a good fit. Here's the breakdown of the op. Thanks. Get out there.
Welcome, it's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. I want to wish everybody, or I want to say everybody's in my prayers during this cold snap coming through central United States down into Texas. It's been pretty awful here at my house. We were down to -2 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. So yeah, it's pretty awful. Some of the roads are pretty bad. People are falling on ice, that sort of thing. So thoughts and prayers out to everybody that they get through it fine. I had to take one of my cats to the hospital, the vet hospital, at the beginning of this thing, and that's pretty much wiped me out. So thoughts and prayers from me too, hopefully from you guys. You know, I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Today's video is all about what is the best money-making scheme for 3.12.1. A lot of people are going to think that the best moneymaker is going to be mining. And while mining can definitely get you a good profit, it's not the best per hour, if you want to say that. Because mining, you have to mine the material and then you either sell it or you refine it. If you want the best profits, you're going to have to refine it. So, my suggestion is to take up bounty hunting. If you saw at the beginning of this video the Miles Eckhart missions, this is how you're going to get the Miles Eckhart missions, which are going to pay you out a lot. But you don't even have to do those missions to make a good amount of money. If you're just doing regular bounties, you have everything from very low risk bounties to high risk bounties. The way you can tell that is when you take your contracts, it's going to be like VLRB, MRB, LRB, or HRB. Those stand for very low risk bounties, low risk bounties, medium risk bounties, and high risk bounties. The high risk bounties, of course, are going to be a little tougher, but you can do that. As you can see, I'm doing bounties in my Buccaneer. This wasn't so bad. I had a pretty good loadout. I've had 2 sucker punches, size 1s, 2 Panther repeaters, size 3. Those are fixed. The sucker punches are gimbaled. And then 1 C788 ballistic cannon, which is a lot of fun to fire. Very good loadout for the buck. Highly recommend you try that or something similar like on a Hornet. Or, you know, if you don't have those ships, obviously you're going to have to make do with what you got. Now, I did do a lot of bounties with the 600i because I had to deal with some griefers. So I had to spawn something coming out of a hangar. The griefers left, funny enough, as soon as I spawned something big. They decided they would take off, leave the server. So that's a griefer for you. Just a big old coward. Anyways, I digress. So I've been doing most of these bounties in a Buccaneer or in the 600i. The 600i just made mincemeat of anything that I faced. For the most part, it was able to take it down super quick. The Buccaneer, you have to do a little bit more dogfighting to make that work. And as you can see here, I'm setting up my firing groups. Since I had 3 fixed weapons, I decided to, you know, set those together. So the Panthers and the C788 were together, and then the sucker punches were on a separate firing group. You can either do it that way or put that cannon on a separate firing group so you're being a little bit more careful with how many times you're shooting that thing, because it does have a finite amount of ammunition. Though I was able to go through quite a few bounties before I even had to worry about rearming. So these bounties, again, you have several different risk types, and it's fairly easy. I would stick around Hurston as long as you can, but you will want to go over to Crusader to get your bounty license with Crusader as well. So definitely do all your licenses that you can do. The only one you really don't have to do right away is the player bounties. You don't have to do those to pick up this mission line. All you have to do is do a crap ton of regular bounties, and eventually Miles Eckhart will ask you to come in to see him over at Lorville at the bar that's there in the main hab area, level 16 or whatever. So definitely go through these. You're going to make a ton of money. I think I made something like 100,000, 200,000 in an hour and 15 minutes. So, I mean, that's no small amount. You pick up that call to arms mission as well under the mercenary part of your contracts tab. And, I mean, you get bonus money for every flunky that one of these guys spawns in with them. So definitely worth it to do bounties as far as how much money you're going to make in an hour. You know, a lot of people don't have the mining ships like the Prospector or the Mole anyways, so that's not going to be a viable avenue for you, especially. Cargo running or the box running. Cargo running is broken because you just can't buy enough stuff unless you're the first person on the server, and selling it all in one place is kind of difficult at the moment as well. So cargo running, out the door. That used to be my favorite way to make money. I still like cargo running, but it's just not there. Yeah, I just don't recommend doing it now. Box running, you can make money doing the box runs. And the servers have been actually really stable right now in 3.12.1. I don't think I've had a single crash in 3.12.1 that I've played. Now, I haven't put, 40 hours into it either, but I put in quite a few hours, and I have not had a single crash. So I think the servers are doing very, very well. Now, I know some people are still probably experiencing some disconnects and stuff like that. The biggest issue I have, and that can really affect you on doing these bounty missions, is desync. Again, if you get in early on a server, usually desync's not a big issue, but if the server's been up for a while, you're going to start noticing it a lot more. You'll notice I am firing away at some of these ships, and I'm not getting any hit notification, which is usually audible, so you may not hear that with my voiceover. But yeah, sometimes I'm right on the pip. I couldn't be more on the pip, and I'm not hitting a single time. So that's the number one issue you're going to have doing bounties, is the desync. Mostly these missions are not super difficult if you have a modicum of a flying capability and a decent ship. Now, if you're in Aurora, you can still do these. It's still going to be possible. If you guys want to see me do these bounties in Aurora, leave it in the comments down below. I'll trick out an Aurora, and I'll see if I can get through several of these bounties. It's not going to be as quick, so again, your money per hour is not going to be as good, but you're still going to be able to successfully do these, and you'll make some money, some good money. If you don't like doing these regular bounties, I would recommend doing the first-person shooter evictions or the invasions of Korea, if somebody breaks into Korea, that sort of thing. You can make some really good money doing those missions as well, because, well, if you're good at first-person combat, which I'm not going to say I'm the best person in the world at first-person combat, but the missions aren't really a challenge anymore because I've done them enough. I kind of got the feel of how everything goes in there. I kind of know where to look for guys. I know, how quick I need to be on the trigger, how to burst fire, those types of things. So, yeah, I mean, that would be one way to make money if you're not good at bounty or, doing the bounty hunter flight missions, space combat missions. You could still make good money doing the first-person shooter type missions. Now, the other way to make good money would be to take up the side of an outlaw and do some of the outlaw missions, the PvE missions, not the PvP stuff. And you can make some good money doing that. But I haven't been doing outlaw stuff in a while, just because I don't like sitting it out in jail. There's too many other things I'd rather do than have to deal with people chasing me down and sitting in jail for any kind of time. That's why I really haven't done a lot on the outlaw side here lately. What do you guys think of bounty hunting? Are you currently using the bounty hunting missions? Which missions are you picking? Are you just going through and doing them like I am? Are you getting to the Miles Eckhart missions? As you know, the Eckhart missions are the Arlington Gang missions. So once you unlock Miles Eckhart, you'll start the Arlington Gang lineup, which I think the first one's an Eclipse that you have to kill. And then it just gets progressively harder and harder. You'll end up getting up against a Hammerhead, and then you'll go up against the Idris, which I kind of want to solo again. I think there's a good way to do it. I heard, anyways, that there was a trick to doing it a little bit, and I'm kind of interested to see if I'm able to pull that off. But yeah, that's the Arlington Gang missions, and they will pay out a good amount of money as you go. That is one way to fight an enemy Idris. As you know, the Xeno threat was another way to do it, but those missions are no longer in the game. Unfortunately, Xeno threat is over. It ended a little too quickly. I think it could have been drawn out a little bit longer. But I've also noticed a little bit more server stability now that it's not in. Have you guys noticed that the servers are even more stable now that, you know, a little bit less frame drops now that the Xeno threat is no longer in the game? I did have some frame drops when I first joined this server, but then when I got out of Loreville, everything was good. So I think still that the landing zones are providing a lot of frame drop issues. Let me know in the comments also if you're having those issues. Now, I know yesterday's video was all about what the theme music's going to be. I'm still not decided on that. I just decided to use my Prairie one, Roundup on the Prairie, because I do like that one for now. And I may play with some of the others as well in a couple of upcoming videos, and you guys can kind of decide the flow of things. But thank everybody for tuning in and watching these videos. It really helps out when you watch them all the way through, when you watch the ads all the way through, click on the ads. That really helps the revenue of the channel. So thank you to everybody that does that. Also, I have a YouTube members and a Patreon that you guys can join that helps out the channel as well. Again, I'm broke at the moment, so every little bit helps, and I definitely appreciate it. You just don't know how much. So thank you all for doing that. So here in a second, I'm going to show you how much I made just doing a good number of these bounties. I can't say it was actually over a full hour. It was probably a little more than an hour. But you can see I made well over 200,000, almost 300,000 credits. I think it was more like 230,000 actually, 260,000, somewhere in there, doing just the bounty missions in less than 2 hours. But thank you all for tuning in. Let me know if you liked the video by hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you out in the verse.